Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the Brew Nub channel. I'm Mike.
And I'm Joey.
And today we're going to be brewing up a West Coast Radical Red Ale from Northern Brewer. So sit back, relax, and we'll show you how it's done.
So on today's episode, this kit brings 1.5 pounds of gold malt extract syrup, 1 packet of American ale yeast, 1 cheese stock, a gallon's worth of grains, fizz drops, and we have 4 different types of hops. We have your German Perle, your Cascade hops, your Chinook hops, and finally your Centennial hops. Okay, so on today's episode, you're going to need a few things. So we have here a Wort chiller, and if you don't have a Wort chiller, a bag of ice will do. We also need a stock pot. This one's 12 quarts. You're also going to need a funnel, and this one has a strainer in it. A hop spider, and we have a measuring container.
We're going to need our sanitizer, a spray bottle for easy sanitation. We're also going to need our 1-gallon carboy with a lid that's closed. We'll have our airlock. Then we'll have our blow-off assembly set up. And then a little bit of Irish moss.
You know, it would also be a good idea to have 2 gallons of water.
So the first thing you're going to want to do is take a little over 1 gallon of water and fill it into your stock pot. And then you want to bring that up to 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Once you get to that temperature, you could go ahead and start the specialty grains. I already have these cut open, so I'm just going to fill it into our cheesecloth. I'm going to do it over a box so that I'm not making a mess. So let's start this. So we got that all filled up. We're going to tie this up and throw it into our water. And basically what these specialty grains are doing, it's adding flavor, color, aroma, and a little bit of body. And once that's in, we're going to steep for about 10 minutes. All right, so now that your specialty grains has steeped for 10 minutes, we're going to go ahead and remove them. We're going to be making sure not to give this a squeeze so that we're also not releasing tannins. We have that aside now, and now your water has become wort. So now that this has been completed, we're going to turn up the heat and we're going to bring it to a boil, which is 212 Fahrenheit.
Okay, so now that we've reached our temperature of 212, we're going to pull this off the burner. And we're going to start pouring in our gold malt extract syrup that has been sitting in warm water for easy pour. Now the reason we pull this off the burner is when we start pouring this in, it doesn't stick to the bottom. Now that we've poured in our gold malt extract syrup, we're going to put this back on the burner. And we're going to put in our first set of hops. Okay, so right now we're going to put in our first set of hops, which are the Chinook. And these are going to, we're going to put these in the start of the boil. So they'll be sitting for a total of 45 minutes. All right, so now we're at the 25-minute mark, and we're going to put our second set of hops. And these will be the German Perles. Okay, so now we've reached the 35-minute mark, and we're going to put in our third edition of hops, which are the Centennials. And finally, we've now have reached our 40-minute mark, and we're going to put our last and fourth edition of hops, which are the Cascade hops. Okay, so now that the boiling process is over, we're going to grab our wort and put it in an ice bath, and we're also inserting a wort chiller to cool it down even quicker. And we want this between 65-70 degrees, and the reason we want it down to this temperature is because we don't want to kill the yeast.
All right, now that the ice bath has finished and we've reached the cool temperature of 65 degrees Fahrenheit, we're going to go ahead and add our American dry yeast. So let's start off by opening our carboy, giving everything a quick spray with sanitizer. Get our funnel on, enjoy, if you don't mind.
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add our American dry yeast. So first off, we're going to want to sanitize the package.
I can shake it this time.
Ooh. And we're going to go ahead and shake that for about a minute. Now we only want to do that for around a minute because we don't want to add too much oxygen because that will oxidize your beer, which will then give it some off flavors. But that whole process in general, that's aeration, which is basically allowing your yeast to multiply, which will then, it will eat up the sugar and then convert it over into alcohol. So now we're going to set up our blow-off tubing, which basically we're going to take this off on the carboy and replace it with some tubing. As it starts to ferment, everything's going to raise up and we're going to have this sitting into a jar of sanitizer. So this is going to be a process that lasts about 2 weeks. After 3 days, if this isn't going crazy with the fermentation anymore, you can swap it out for your airlock. And then after that 2 weeks is done, you can go ahead and add your sugar and bottle it up or keg it if you have a keg. And then from there, you're done. You could go ahead and drink it after 2 weeks. So we just finished up the West Coast Radical Red. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, leave a comment, let us know what you think, and we'll see you next time. Peace. Marker. Action.
I'm sorry. Like I was looking at the mixer there, and it looked like the Iron Giant.
That's gonna be good for you, not it? Something that should be a minute feels like it's fucking 5 episodes. 2 seasons later. Freezer! We have about 30 seconds left. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, we have these super deep conversations.
Anyways, next season.